Hey guys, what's up? This is Shanahan. First and foremost, thank you for everyone that's checked out this Shanahan Masterclass so far, and also thank you to everyone that's enrolled. I wanted to do a quick inside look on what's going to be covered, just touching base so you guys can get a little bit more of an idea of what's going to be covered on the 4-week course. It is going to be an hour per day, so it's going to be extensive videos going in depth with a lot more techniques than my usual tutorials. Not saying those are missing anything, but these are going to go a little more in depth with using techniques and tricks inside certain tracks, utilizing compression, MidSide EQing, vocal harmonies, processing, mixing, and everything in between, all the way up to management on your branding. You'll see in one of the packages on my website, we talk about artist management, label management, which is super important to the success of your brand. So we are discussing that also. But to go over a little bit of inside, let's kind of look at a couple things what we're going to do. So we're going to go over certain tracks and styles like this one. Oh my God. We're even going to go to a kind of a fun step in one of the episodes where we're going to take your own vocal and we're going to use it as a harmony in one of your tracks. Now, I'm sure a lot of us watching are not great at singing. That doesn't mean anything. You guys still can utilize your voice in your tracks to a certain respect. And I like using my voice as a harmony. I'm not a singer, I'm not a vocalist, but I use my voice to harmonize sometimes, to use it as a texture in a track like this. It's just a matter of time till I make my way home. It's just a matter of time till I make my way. So we're taking our voice and harmonizing it, even though that still doesn't sound complete yet. It's still a work in progress. But the point is we're harmonizing it with our MIDI, which is something super cool that I want to go in depth with you guys on vocal processing and utilizing your own voice. Now, on the B side of things, we're also going to step into tracks that have a little bit more of a radio edge. And as you guys are fully aware, in 2016 and this past year of 2017, a lot of the tracks are super poppy, pop dance, a lot of vocals, which I'm all for. I love Spotify tracks. I love listening to vocal tracks, and it's super popular. So we are going to step into the radio edge and go over such tracks as what I put out, one of my tracks called Refuse. Now, the most important thing I want to point out in my masterclass that I always talk about in every aspect when I'm producing is mixing. It comes down to you have your great idea, but at the end of the day, your chords and your vocals are so good, but if they're not mixed properly, they're not mastered properly, and not placed in your mix, it's not going to sound good. So in my 4-week class, I'm going to stress every single class, every episode, that mixing is most important. We're also going to really address important ways to apply compression. I know compression is a super sensitive subject. Some people don't know where and when to use it. Trust me, I've been there, and it's not an easy thing to achieve. But I'm not also just talking about slapping your LFO tool on there, putting it to a 4/4 beat, and just throwing a curve on. I'm not talking about that type of sidechain compression. I want to utilize compression in the specific settings that comes inside a compressor for you to achieve tight and punchy drums, clean chords, and tight drops. All this can be achieved by utilizing the appropriate parameters. It's going to take detail work, but that's what we're going to cover in the masterclass, and you're going to achieve it in your track simply by following a few simple steps within 1 hour. I also want to really get into vocal processing. I know a lot of guys get your vocals back from your vocalist and you're sitting there confused because they give you a dry stem, or sometimes they even give you 15 stems of all their different takes with ad-libs, and you're sitting there with a headache trying to edit it all. I want to go through that and how you need to process them properly. Now, specifically, if you get a dry stem like this, say an acapella that really needs work on tuning and processing, I'm going to show you exactly how to get it to a nice, finished, polished vocal that's going to sit pop right on top of your track.
Take a chance, one last dance. We can make this last forever.
Everything from tuning to processing to mixing, we're going to go through with your vocaling to get it pop like this.
Take a chance, one last dance. We can make this last forever. Take a chance.
We're going to use a lot of different third-party plugins. Now, guys, do not be alarmed that I'm using Logic X. If you are not using Logic X, everything I'm going to be doing can be translated to your specific DAW. Keep that in mind. And this is really only scratching the surface of what's going to be covered in this 4-week course. But lastly, to sign off, I know another sensitive subject is MidSide EQing. It's something that's available online. People talk about it, but I still get inboxes of people not understanding where to apply it. I'm going to go in depth for 1 hour, plus in various different videos that are in the course are going to be utilizing MidSide and where you need to use it in order to separate your layers and create space in your mixdown. I can see MidSide is going to be very important. Now, if we do another 2 to 3 layers, I can utilize my MidSide function and techniques in order to place those layers in the correct spot they need to be. Now, make sure you guys check out the website for more information. Always ask me any questions that pop up, and I'll see you in the class. Take care.